And hello, everybody, and welcome to this new edition of GM Web3 every Wednesday, live on X, on YouTube, and on Twitch. We speak about MultiversX with my friend Arno. Let's welcome him. Hello, Arno.
Hello, GRM.
What's up, buddy?
Happy Wednesday.
You too. Everything's all right for you?
I've been carrying sickness since the start of the year, and I can't seem to get rid of it. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. But we're pushing through.
Okay, everything's all right with Hatem and Ash and everything. A lot of work.
Yeah, it's the time when there's 2% left, and 2% takes time. So we're very
more than the 98%.
no, that's not possible. But no, it's
will be live in 2027, but it's 2% left to finish. Okay, we'll speak about it, of course. Today we'll be with Philippe from Autoscale and Globies and CryptoBay and so many other things.
I mean, morning, everyone. When I see the status, I should open a haircutter shop. I mean, I make more business with haircut than project today.
But what are you implying?
I'm implying that I mean, I'm hiding it well. But yeah, no, I mean, great day. I mean, like the start of the years have been also really stressful. A lot of things to do, but a lot of progress. And it's nice to see everybody on track with our project, with deliveries, with things. I think the next month will be really, really interesting for a lot of different aspects. That it's Atom, but it's also Autoscale Globies, like even GRM probably, let's see. But yeah, there's a lot of things I think coming in the coming months, also on protocol level. And so yeah, let's review a little the different things. A lot of people maybe disconnected a little at the beginning of January. That makes sense. End of December. So there's a lot of things.
Okay. We need to start.
Go.
I was just asking if you were okay. We will have plenty of time to speak about everything. First of all, I would like to thank everyone to follow us every Wednesday on GM Web3. We will try to speak about all the topics that you wanted and you wrote in the comments. It's like a new format. It's like it's happening on MultiversX. So we selected a few topics. We'll try to dive in. We'll try to give you some information so you keep updated about what's happening. We'll be receiving also Tikapo at 11, so we will be able to speak about different topics. He's concerned, especially sovereign chains, but also the new XOXNO liquid staking. He wrote a thread about it. It will be interesting to speak about that. Basically, today we'll speak about like tens of topics. I can mention some of them. We'll speak about IBAN and payment services for MultiversX. We'll speak about xDay, and after we'll try to figure out what's happening around fundraisings. Also, Benny told us that he was going back to the USA. We'll speak about the ambitions there with the opening of an office. We'll speak about the next Launchpad, Pell Network. We'll speak about Autoscale. People asked about Autoscale in the comments, so we're happy to have Philippe, who just joined the team recently. Nice cap, Ooga Booga.
Are we going to speak about boogas?
Actually, no, but we can if there is really something important to say, except maybe the content creation program. This is pretty classical, so it's not on the program, but if you want to speak about it, of course, feel free to. We'll speak about, of course, the latest news about sovereign chains, because there were some discussions with Robert and many people from the community, especially Longin from Wandex. and we'll speak about the Bober drama that happening these last days. And Tikapo will have some takes about this because it will not be just about me. So yeah, many topics. I can't promise that we will have leaks and announcements and so on about all of this, especially because I invited the core team to come, but unfortunately none of them were available today. But yeah, we'll try to keep you updated about the public information and maybe try to make some hypotheses about what can happen in the coming days and weeks. So thank you very much for to our sponsors of this month. Thank you very much. So we have Atom. You all know them. It's the leading lending, borrowing, and liquid staking protocol on MultiversX. We'll speak about Atom, of course. I'd like to thank also eApes. eApes, you know what? I was on their Discord and I'm seeing all what they're communicating about, and I was very critical about eApes a few months ago, but there's one thing that is important to note. They keep doing things, they keep communicating, they keep being transparent and being direct with their community. And yeah, that's really tough during this NFT bear market, we can mention on MultiversX. So shoot out to them, and thank you for the thank for the support.
GRM, I think what's brilliant is that they keep united, they keep being a community.
Definitely.
And you know, I mean, we talk about NFT bear market price wise, but some of the cool brands, IPs that manage to regroup some people, the people are still together. So what's the most important, you know? If those guys are doing stuff together, having fun together, you know, I mean, that's great. That's one of the cool things about NFTs. It's bringing people together from all around the world, people who love hanging together, talking about stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great that eApes is still pushing, still having a community with engaged people. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and really, it's not difficult. Actually, it's easy, but it's so rare to see that project can do it, because when you have nothing big to announce, sometimes you prefer not to talk anymore, and that's a big problem in marketing with projects. And that's why you know, sometimes you don't need to do big things. You just need to be there. You just need to tweet sometimes. You just need to keep people entertained a little bit with some contest and so on, and it's enough to show that you're still there. And eApes is doing this. And you know what? We can mention also Coco, for example. Nothing was announced for months on Coco, but no FUD. The community is still there. It's very engaged. I can testify about it. And yeah, so you know, it's just a word to different project, or maybe are missing some announcements. So no big deliveries, no big announcement, no big partnerships, no big progresses. But we're still here, so we can just speak about it in a very humble way. Yeah, with consistency. Philippe, yes?
Yeah, no, what I would say, I mean, everybody knows that I used to be not a big fan of NFTs and all these things, but at the end, that's true. Something that I miss maybe on the first place in the Web3 ecosystem is like at the end, for some NFT collection, people are not there for the price. People are here to be with nice people that they appreciate, to share moments. Maybe sometimes they get free entrance for a party whatsoever, and that's nice. But at the end, when it's not a toxic community, like on Coco, on eApes, they are nice people. I mean, on Boogas also. I mean, everyone that I discuss with, lovely people. And at the end, I think that's what keeps the community together, like Arno. And sometimes the price doesn't matter. At the end, owning a Coco is just a proof of being part of a group. And you don't plan on selling it. You don't plan. You just want to be there for friends of you. And I think that's the best way to raise NFT collection and communities. And yeah, after if we build on top, it's even better. But they are building, and I'm really looking forward to what they will deliver this year.
Yeah, I agree with this. So as you can see, it will be chill today. So no limit, no deadline, no limit time. Just talking. If you guys need to leave, just feel free to tell me. But like we have so many topics, I'm not even sure that we'll be able to speak about all of them, but we'll try to. And the last sponsor, and it's interesting to speak about it. It's AI Nexus. AI Nexus is the next the last xLaunchpad, and yeah, they raised a few hundred of thousands of dollars through xLaunchpad, and they are working about launching their we can say AI metaverse and something. So just to be clear, same, they are doing things very with humility. They are building things with other projects. They are making a lot of partnerships with other projects on MultiversX, and yeah, they are very cool guys. And yeah, shout out to Mihai, the
You
CEO.
say they're building things with humility. This is so. They're building things with ambition, GRM.
No,
With
you know what?
ambition.
You're right. But I why am
They're
I
everywhere. I'm impressed by
Yeah.
by how they have communicated around their project. To be honest,
Even outside of
It's
multiverse, they are visible.
yes, yes. I think it is maybe the first time in MultiversX, and I'm even including Hatom in there. They've done a better job than everybody. They've put their name everywhere. I mean,
thought
I was really impressed.
speaking
they are
about
a really good.
Cointelegraph, for example?
Hmm?
Speaking about Cointelegraph, for example, or are you speaking about?
Speaking about, I'm more talking about the feeling that I have deep down when I think of their communication. They've been on certain big spaces, certain big media outlets, etc., but it's more the overall feeling, you know.
Mm,
I feel that they were everywhere for quite a long period of time. Actually, it's hard
mm.
to not having heard of their name, and I'm interested of the impact of this, but
Well said.
communication wise, they have done a great job.
Yeah, it's right. When I used the humility word, I meant it. When I say humility, it's because so far the project is not really live, and they're on Multiverse 6, which is not like a big ecosystem, and still they're communicating in a very transparent and very funny way. So yeah, I think humility is not a bad word in this case, but I know it's sometimes better to say ambition, strong, and so on. And you know what? I think you can do both. You know,
Yeah,
humility
of
and
course,
conviction. But
of course.
anyway, thank you to all of three for the support, and they are offering $50 to share between three people here on the space. So you just need to share the X link to be eligible to the giveaway. I will draw randomly three people at the end of the space. So it was just like an introduction, but it allowed us to speak about different topics. So it's already interesting. So maybe let's start with the first topic I'd like to speak with you. There is no particular order, so let's choose one. Maybe xDay. To remind everyone.
Let's
No,
let's start slow. I mean, like.
no. You know what? We don't have information.
I'm super hyped. It's next week.
That's the thing.
So looking forward to be with you guys. It's
Uh,
amazing.
I don't know what they plan to that, but I mean, I
Just
discussed with some builders the
let me
ecosystem.
context. Let me context a bit for people, and after I will give you
Go.
the word just to I will share you something um to add some context. Normally should be here because I prepared a bit this show. Okay, let me show you. No, it doesn't work. You can't see anything. You
No.
can't. You can.
No.
Oh, because it's saying that it's okay. I don't have permission, so I will not be able to. Okay. So I was about to show you just a screenshot. It's okay. I will just explain what it is. It's the announcement of xDay at Seoul. It was on July 18th, so last year. saying that the location of the next xDay will be in Seoul. A few months ago, they announced that for different reasons, they had to postpone the xDay to next April, so in 3 months. I don't remember exactly the reasons that they mentioned, but it was about opportunities, the state of the market, and some announcements that could wait for April. And anyway, and so in replacement, they organized another xDay, smaller, in Munich. So now we are on January, and many people from the community starting to ask on Twitter, guys, okay, what's up with xDay? Is it happening? Will it be on Seoul or anything? So I think there is an issue. If it's happening, say it. People need to organize. If it's not happening, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. But say it.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys? And do you have any information? Maybe I don't. To be honest, I absolutely have news.
Say it.
I don't. No. I wouldn't.
So if I jump quickly, I mean, so
Sure.
you just described like the situation, so I will not repeat what you just say. I mean, one additional element, it was at the xDay Munich. I don't know. It was mostly people from the X Alliance when we took the X Alliance pictures. So maybe Arno, you were there. You were next to me. I think we saw that there was a date announced for March 24th, I think, and 25th. And then I turned to Benny and I said, "Oh, take my plane ticket and just go in the regie to cancel it." So,
it was such a funny moment.
I mean, yeah. So that's the latest information. I think it was 23, 24 of March.
No, it was April.
It was April. Okay.
It was April. But Benny. So there was the screen at the far other end of the room. So you had the stage, and it was at the far other end. And we were taking an X Alliance picture with Benny, so looking at the room, and Philippe sees the screen and he sees xDay Seoul 24th, 25th April, and he looks at Benny and he says, "Oh, there's a date." And Benny goes, "What the fuck?"
So yeah, and but otherwise, honestly, I don't know. So just to add a little details, also is like the concept of delaying it is because we were discussing with authorities in Seoul and in Busan to be used as an application for the states somehow, like that the states will use MultiversX somehow. I mean, at least it's what I got out of the different discussion. That there is ongoing discussion, and that's why also Adams have been to Korea just after that to discuss. Yeah, and the last point is like they didn't want to make a xDay dedicated to MultiversX, but they wanted something like xDay global, like they were talking about, and bring more ecosystem, more different vision, more different technologies, other industries also that would be more interested into adopting blockchain technology. But at the moment, like you say, we have no information. And for all the builders that I discussed with, if we don't get information soon, nobody will go to Seoul because, I mean, I will not spend 2,000 euro on a plane ticket for 2 days. I've been last year in Seoul. So yeah, I think if they, like you say, they need either to say it's happening and why, when, whatsoever, or it's not and it's delayed. I'm fine with that, but I think they need to give some visibility.
Yes. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. So to bring a few other elements. So when speaking with some people from the MultiversX team, the vision for this xDay Global was really the creation of this G20 of blockchain companies. So meaning creating an event where you gather the biggest, most influential companies within the blockchain ecosystem. And it's not just layer one blockchains. It's also exchanges. It can be TradFi banks who are big in crypto now. So I don't know, you could have a JP Morgan or whatever. So as Philippe said, it's not just MultiversX. It is it is very complex process to create this. So I would say that under the surface, loads of things are happening. And back then, we didn't have the US election. We didn't have Trump as an elected president. And we didn't have Benny spending 40% of his time in the US over the last few months. This has changed. Benny is most likely part of conversations in the US. And I would speculate on the fact that xDay Seoul is discussed right now. Because with the new meta around US, if MultiversX was at the center of this new event, gathering different players, I would argue that doing this first event in the US with the current context would be very smart to position MultiversX as, an actor who is pushing, doing stuff. But making this decision, if we already have discussions with, from what I heard of, the city of Busan, etc., it is complex. So I would say if there's no communication about it, is most likely because there's multiple conversations happening, trade-offs. The question is, are we going to have an event this year or not?
I mean, it's an interesting point that you say for the US, and I think maybe you're on track on something. So, like you said, also, it's really true. We want to make an event with a lot of different actors, and if they are big actors, they will not accept an announcement 2 weeks before. So, in any case, either the announcements, I think, occurs this month, although otherwise, personally, I will consider that there will be no xDay organized in Busan. Now, what would be really exciting is like just after Trump investiture, that they announced that there will be a global technological day called xDay happening every year in US. That would be fun. But that's maybe something that they are working on, because when you look at what they want to do in terms of institution, optimization, and technology-wise, and they want to propagate that on other democracy, if I can say, around the world, that could make sense to have something like the G20 regarding technology and sovereignty.
Okay, it's interesting. It's pure speculation. It's like we can say also it's like hopium, because my question is: do you think sincerely that in the United States, where we can find Cardano, Solana, Polygon, and many other companies, they would accept to be under the xDay name for like the G20 thing that you're speaking about, and Charles from Cardano is speaking about, and Adam Bates is speaking about, and all these guys that want to push crypto into the political direction. So I hope, of course, it happens, but I think it can't happen. It's not possible. I think maybe MultiversX can be part of the table if Benjamin plays well. You know what? I remember, thanks to Charles de Gaulle, France was at the table of the winners after the Second World War. Even if we did not really win, you know what I mean? So with political and with skills, you can be at the table of the winners, even if you're not the big winner. Okay. So if Benjamin is playing well, he can be at the table of the winners, at the table of this G20 thing. Would be great, would be a big milestone for MultiversX. But about xDay, I think it's these, there are ego on blockchain. All blockchain are fighting to each other, and MultiversX is fighting against the Solana standard, Ethereum standard, and so on. So I don't think it can happen in the United States. This is just my opinion.
Oh. Okay, there's one point I would like to say. Okay, that's maybe because I'm maybe a MultiversX maxi whatsoever. I mean, but there's one thing that other chains don't have, in fact. So today, okay, if you have the guy from Solana that arrive and say, let's build on Solana, at the end, you're forced to build on a public blockchain. And that's a case of most of the chain that I have in mind, to be honest, and all the technology available on the market. While MultiversX, you don't care that they are Romanian. You can just take the code and use it on your own, own it, and having something interoperable that you can deploy on different departments. And from my point of view, after maybe I need to dig more, after you have sidechain, you have a lot of different things like that. But in terms of advancements of simplicity to deploy, maintenance, and the reliability of the code, I think that's my personal point of view, there is only MultiversX at this point. So
But
today,
sovereign chains, just for
yeah,
everyone to be clear,
yeah, the sovereign chain.
it's not live at all, so it cannot be in 2025. Maybe next year, maybe in the coming years, when sovereign chain is the standard of how to launch a blockchain, interoperable, and so on. But for the moment, it's just testnet, and we only have one project that is working on it, and they say that they are not really happy about the progresses. So I think it cannot be related with xDay 2025.
I agree. I'm just thinking in the long term, in terms of deployment. I mean, if you put all these guys around the table and you discuss, okay, what should we do? I don't think that Trump will say, okay, let's deploy on Solana, let's deploy on Ethereum. That just doesn't make sense. They will need their own technology or their own stack of resources to be able to have sovereignty on their own data and their citizen data. And I think, yeah, I mean, I think MultiversX is the closest one to resolve this gap with the sovereign chain. Other chains are working on it. I mean, it's not ready, like you said, to deploy tomorrow. But if the American government aim to develop that kind of thing, I'm pretty sure that can be the focus of the core chain. I mean, again, that's just speculation, man. I mean, it's just it's just what I would like to see after. Let's see what happens.
But to sum up the xDay topic, there is a silence that is, I agree with GRM, bothering. But we're smart people. We know that this silent means that, of course, we won't have an xDay in Seoul in April. It would make absolutely no sense. So, or announcing it now. But with everything,
about being smart, please. We are smart, okay. But imagine there are thousands of people that maybe would like to organize themselves, and you cannot just say they are smart, they will understand by themselves. Nobody communicates like this. No, I think you're you know what I mean. It's not cool.
I agree.
But anyway.
there's most likely, it's not ideal, but if MultiversX had the certainty that xDay in Seoul would happen, they would say so. The fact that they're not saying it means that there's something that is happening. So I believe that with the recent change in the leadership, with Adam being on the team now, with certain communication standards that have been pushed by the community regarding transparency, I believe that MultiversX will communicate and give transparency on this as soon as they can. Now, yes, when Munich happened, it was told that xDay Global would happen in Q2, Q3 2025. It's looking like things are not going to happen in the same way. But as you said, it's pure speculation. I think we need to understand what's happening in the US. And this is most likely going to be in the next 1, 2, 3 months. We're going to have more clarity on this. We're going to know finally what's happening with xMoney. There's apparently a fundraising that is happening. So what's the setup on this? There is most likely something happening with xPortal too. So those are two companies that are etc. So
okay. We'll speak about these topics. Let's speak about Adam Bates, if you agree, guys. There is a comment here from Coca-Cola. Isn't the job of the CMO to organize xDays? Maybe there is some struggle internally because of this. And on Twitter a few days ago, someone commented, Adam Bates wouldn't accept that xDay was canceled or something like that. So it's something that within the community we can see people are counting on Adam Bates maybe to control the communication, to control the core team, maybe willing to not to communicate or to communicate in a bad way. So, the community trusts Adam Bates for making communication better. This is what I feel, and I think my feeling is right. So he's been here for 6 months now, maybe less, let's say 4 or 5 months. The question is, do you think he had an impact on the marketing thing? And I wanted to wait a bit before saying anything about that, letting him the time to take the position and so on. We are now middle of January. It's been 5 months he's here, and the xDay thing, but also different other topics. And we cannot see more transparency, more communication, except some soon, like the USA and so on. It's like soon for the moment. So, do you see the Adam Bates impact? Do you think he has the how to say in English, le périmètre, the perimeter to do things?
Framework.
And so, what's your opinion about his job so far? Because, and I'll finish by this: when he introduced himself during the community town hall, we remember how sure of himself he was. Like, I will make this inhabited island known. He was full of energy. I met him in real life. He's full of energy. But so far, I think it's a bit fragile. But it's just a quick opinion. But maybe I'm too in a hurry. I don't know. Who wants to say a word about this? Yeah, Philippe, let's go.
Yeah, he arrived full of energy, and I think he still have full of energy. To be honest, that's not the problem at the moment. I think his job would be wrongly done if he was not remaining open to opportunities that could raise because of some news or things that happen in the world. So he was focused on Seoul, probably, but he had some contact there. That he knew a lot of people there already, so maybe go and discuss. Maybe things didn't get as far or as fast as he wanted. And maybe right now they are open to make something in US or somewhere else. I mean, personally, is tomorrow they will announce that in April there is a 2 xDay, even not a global one, but a normal xDay in US. I would be fine with that. And I think, I don't know, I never discussed with Adam really, even if I should. I don't know if right now he's open to other possibilities, and it would be, I don't know, it would be, I will not say stupid, but I would not like the idea of just being stubborn about I want to go in Korea because I announced it, while you can do something else better. I don't know, he's really silent at the moment, like you say, so I cannot really give my point of view about what he's thinking. But at this point, I would say that I hope that he remain open of other opportunities, because right now, if Seoul have not been announced, that doesn't sound good for me. But yeah, I mean, when was his last tweet to Adam? Because I haven't seen him in quite a while, to be honest.
I checked his Twitter. He posted 2 or 3 times this year, but it's not just about this. It's not the point. But indeed, we are waiting for the Adam sauce. You remember, Arno, you asked him, what's your sauce? So we're waiting for, you know what? I was expecting from him or from the MultiversX core team to deliver one thing before the end of the year, or maybe early 2025. The 2025 baseline, the maybe it's a sentence that will show the world what MultiversX is up to and so on. I'm still waiting for it. Arno, what do you think about Adam Bates? Not personally, of course, speaking about the impact, of course.
So Adam Bates is not a marketing manager. He's been hired as a C-level, and this means that he's at the very top of the pyramid. And so when a C-level is hired, the bigger the company, the longer it takes to see his or her impact. A C-level is brought in through the vision, and it's at least a journey of, I would say, 2 years. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So when Bates joins, it's the decision after a complex process of hiring that lasts several months. And I would say that we are seeing a bit of the Bates effect when it comes to the story. I feel since Adam has joined, I see the MultiversX brand telling more a story. It is through the communication channels. It is through the podcasts. I feel that the company has improved in that sense, but I agree with you guys. We haven't seen a full-blown transformation of the way the company is communicating. But if you look at Bates' profile, he's a person who's worked in the States. He's a person who's worked worldwide, but he's a person who worked in the States. And he's a C-level. So he is not expected to be the guy who is going to transform the way MultiversX is communicating on Twitter. This is just not what you expect from a C-level for a company of that size. He is a strategic profile. So you expect him to make a strategic impact. And if this is, for example, how can he help MultiversX in the US, getting to meet with, I don't know, a guy like Hoskinson from Cardano because he knew him? How can he open doors? How can he be and play a strategic role in certain conversations? How can he play a strategic role in MultiversX moving to the States? Those are the kind of things that, we don't see, we don't know about. And this is a C-level's responsibility. I would say, and I would be interested to know, how did the MultiversX team, communications and marketing team look like before Adam and now? Did he hire anybody? Did he have the resources to push his strategic vision at an operational level? Because when we talk about how MultiversX communicates, etc., this is done by people underneath Adam. So has this changed? I'm interested in knowing this, but I remember that when we talked about Adam's arrival, we said, okay, we will judge him at xDay Seoul to see how is this event, because he went to South Korea, etc. It seems to be his turf. Now, is this still happening or not? So
he was recruited for the bull run. Let's be honest. The months are numbered, so of course we can expect him to take time to establish a strategy, to change things in depth and so on. But the community, I think, doesn't give a damn about that. They want something strong, something concrete. They want a visible change in the communication, in the words, in the visuals, in the way MultiversX is seen in the media, on the different events and so on. So I agree with you, Arno. In a classical a company on which there is no market time, like bull run, like for 1 year you need to be there. But on MultiversX, I think it should and it could, I think, do, maybe more superficial things, okay, but do sometimes things like people can say, okay, I see things are changing, so I'm staying, or so I'll speak about MultiversX to my friends, just visible things. I don't know, media, referencement, SEO, can be events, can be the way the core team is communicating, just the communication about xDay. It was just maybe one milestone, to be clear. We're not doing it. We're doing it, and so on. But well, of course, we'll not judge him. He's not here for more than 6 months. Just it's a small talk about Adam Bates for like 4 or 5 months. He's been here. Thank you very much, guys. Just to all the people that are listening to us, feel free, as some does already, by the way, to share your opinions, and we'll share on the screen. And feel free to ask your questions, or maybe to propose any topics that you would like us to speak about. Let's move on to the next topic people asked for. Let's speak about fundraisings. I don't know if there is much to say, but on different interviews and different community town hall, Benjamin, the CEO of MultiversX, said that they were, when I say they, I'm talking about xPortal, xMoney, and maybe MultiversX labs would be, in my opinion, necessary, but he did not mention specifically MultiversX labs, so the core company. Anyway, so they were in the process of raising funds. My question is, because we did not hear anything about that so far, do you think it was too early to speak about that, to send more hopium to the community? We are raising funds, we will have much money to do what we want to do, and 6 months after, nothing happened? Is it a mistake? Or it's pretty classical in Web3 or companies to announce upcoming fundraisings before it's here? I think you have my point. And you have news about that. I don't.
I mean,
Arno, you can start if you want, because if Philippe starts all the time, maybe he steals your idea. I'll let you
go Arno, you start.
I feel free to maybe start one after each other, or
we can't say MultiversX doesn't communicate enough, and when they do, say, did they communicate? Was it a bad thing to communicate? They showed transparency on the fact that those two companies were being given more freedom to behave in their own as independent companies. The foundation has disclosed that those companies were looking to fundraise. Then they disclosed that those companies were in a fundraising process. So those things they're actually moving forward. Now, I wouldn't say that those companies are in a classic fundraising process. Those companies are not small companies. I mean, a company like xPortal has millions of users. So it's not like we're doing a pre-seed for 200K, Those companies are looking for, I would say, it would be disappointing to see fundraisers that are not at least in the tens of millions. At least we could have good surprises and see bigger fundraising. I don't know. A fundraising is a complex equation, but at least in the tens of millions. So those are not small fundraisers. So they take time. And then there's the fact that xMoney is a super complex entity with initially a company from Portugal, a company from Romania. They are merged, so it means that there's a new legal structure to build. We now have a glimpse of what this structure will become. It's xMoney Global. There is a new co-founder that has been integrated. So how does all this play together? It takes time. I'm not afraid. I think that most of all the details regarding xMoney are figured out, wrapped up, and it's more timing to announce what is actually happening. And I do believe that this has a lot to play with US. So yeah, that's my take on those.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But there's another point maybe that we haven't thought about, and that could be the reason why everything is delayed. Is like that X payment will change in xMoney as a name.
No, we don't care. It's just
If you try to invest 100 million in a company, and at the end you have a company owned by a friend of the future president that takes the same name.
no, I don't think it's a point. You know,
No.
if people wants to invest in a company, they don't care about their handle of Twitter on Twitter. I think it's just dust. In my opinion, it's not about that. You know what? They're not the same territory. You know, xMoney is on Europe, so it's Micah's thing, and X is in the United States, so not the same territory, not the same regulation, not the same market. I think it has nothing to do with
the same territory. It's
Yeah.
global payment system, same name. It's a problem. I agree with you.
I don't agree with it. I think
because maybe the investor will say, okay, but you have to open offices in US, and then in US you arrive with the xMoney name, and you arrive Twitter maybe deposit the same name, and then you have 2 years of battle about who fucking owns this name in US. And that could be a real reason why there is a delays in the announcement of the funding, because they say as long as you didn't resolve this issue, the money is locked. And I saw it many times in a lot of different companies.
Let's be clear. In my opinion, there are so many payment companies in Europe that are raising funds. Not only with American VCs. First of all, second, if it's just a matter of brand, do you think xMoney to raise dozens of millions of dollars cannot find a new name and a new brand? Please. So I'm not sure. I think it's not about this. It's just dust on Twitter. Okay, we have the same name as X and so on. I'm not sure it's about it. I think it's more about compliance, because you know, even there the communication of Greg is pretty esoteric. Get ready for Micah. We speak Micah. Well, he's been at marketing school of Benny. It's not the communication that we expect from an establishment of electronic money, like a payment service provider at a global level. But anyway, Greg maybe is a great guy.
We can't say this. I mean, this is 2025. We can't say this is not what we expect. Just look that Trump yesterday posted an AI troll on Harris and Obama. Look how Elon Musk communicates. There are no rules anymore. There are no rules anymore. I mean, if you win, that's the only rule. So I mean,
look at Koa's message.
Yeah. Just
put it, because at the end that's exactly that. Just the guy we're going to put, like, I don't know, because I think we are more close to like the hundreds of millions or billions than 10 millions, if I remember our discussion with the core team regarding xMoney and the fact to get the regulation to stable and everything, blah 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 blah. If tomorrow you have the same name company owned by Elon Musk that is literally sitting, I mean, I'm not going that shed on the White House in US, you don't go on that land, man. You just step back. You put your hundreds of millions somewhere else. Unfortunately, yes.
I repeat, if it's just a brand issue, changing the name for a company like xMoney with not millions of users, it's not known all around the world.
It's not that.
So
if the
changing
paper has
the
been
name
signed
is
and prepared with xMoney, you cannot change it. Or
sorry.
you have to make the entire renegotiation again.
Can you repeat?
If you make all the negotiation regarding the name xMoney, that it's a good name, all the paperwork, everything like that, to declare the company in US, blah, 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 and the stuff will be stuck for a branding reason.
I don't know why you're talking about USA all the time. I mean, xMoney is a European company.
Yes.
It's a MiCA compliance company. So the territory and the business is in Europe.
Not
Of
only.
course, maybe, but not only check the share the mark the use of xMoney compared to Stripe or so on. Let's be clear. So if there are American VCs that are interested on xMoney, okay, let's see. But the truth is, neobank in Europe can raise funds with European VCs. So anyway, we don't know. Maybe you're right.
You can't have xMoney and xMoney on X doing the exact same thing for an international audience. It's not possible. It's like, oh, but there's a company called Revolut in the US and they're launching. Oh, I mean, it makes no sense. And if there is today, those two companies are, I would say, okay, on one side you have X in the US, established in the US, but X is servicing worldwide. And on the other side, you would have xMoney that is, yes, correct, today in the EU mainly. But those two companies have global trajectories. So you know that in a certain amount of time, there's going to be a colliding. And this is a big problem. It's a big problem when you're fundraising, because on one side you have xMoney, the MultiversX xMoney, that has been existing for now more than 2 years. So it's been there, xMoney fiat, xMoney crypto. It's branding, it's legal everywhere. So I agree with Philippe. If you have a fundraising and suddenly you see X payments becoming xMoney, and your VCs say, "What the fuck?" If they have nothing to do together, you get scared. Because Musk is super powerful.
It's okay.
So you get
okay. You know what? Maybe you're right. I think changing the name is not a big deal. But if you think, no, I'm serious. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
Really
For
not.
a financial institution.
For a regulated company, I mean, you pay some lawyers, you do your stuff, you engage, I don't know, like a marketing company, and you work.
So it's a rebranding.
Yes.
It costs a fortune also.
It can be better. Now,
Yeah,
rebranding is not, you know what? You can also just change the commercial name in the first place. You don't need to change the company name. You can change the commercial name so people don't get confused. And in a second time, you change the corporate name. So you can do many things.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you're right. So maybe fundraising should happen end of 2024. Okay, maybe. And because of the change of name of X payment, it will happen in 6 months. Okay, well, maybe you're right. The thing is, when the CEO is announcing they are in progress of fundraising, and 6 months after we have nothing, the community, you know what? I'm just a member of the community, just like you are. People are thinking like, okay, one more soon. And this plus this plus this plus this create FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's all I say. But let's move on if you agree.
We are not the answer in any case, so let's wait a little.
Absolutely, definitely right. We don't have information. We're just speaking like we think. And
like at the bar with a big beer after 5
yes,
hours.
You're right. Okay, let's speak about next Launchpad. Did you first of all, I need to transparent with the people that are watching us. I sent the topics to Arno and Philippe this morning. So if some topics they maybe did not dig or anything, don't owe them. It's on me. Okay. So let's speak about the next xLaunchpad, Pell Network. This is a project that is already live and that is like offering some Bitcoin restaking service. Okay, so we'll speak about it a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on the chat. First of all, so I know if we'll spend much time on it or not, did you dig it? Do you know a little bit about this project or not at all? Saying that the Launchpad will occur in 2 or 3 weeks and Snapshot has started yesterday. I think, let me just check not to say bullshit, but I think it was Snapshot yesterday. Yeah, so first of all, did you check this Launchpad? Do you have an opinion about this or not? Or just tell me.
Go on. I didn't dig so much on that. I saw it yesterday and I didn't.
So what's interesting with restaking is, first of all, it is a use case that we didn't have. So it's a good thing that this company is going to bring expertise, tech, and concrete use case through products that we didn't have in the MultiversX ecosystem. The second thing, what's interesting, is that we're completely shifting away from previous xLaunchpad companies, where previous companies were companies that had to happen, had to be built, had to build the products and launch and acquire users, etc., etc. There, it's completely different. Pell Network exists already. It has hundreds of thousands of restakers, unique restakers, through its BTC restaking product. And so through this xLaunchpad, basically, we are incentivizing them to deploy their infrastructure and connect MultiversX to this infrastructure. So it means that we will. Pell Network is a blockchain infrastructure. So it is an interoperability layer between multiple blockchains, allowing people to use BTC restaking. So it means that tomorrow, builders on MultiversX will be able, if they need economic security, they will be able to tap into Bitcoin economic security. But through the xLaunchpad, we are basically investing in the company and incentivizing them to connect MultiversX to their infrastructure. And on top of this, build EGLD restaking that will be connected to, I assume, all their network of blockchains, meaning that through Pell Network, let's say that they're connected to, I don't know, the Avalanche blockchain. You will have interoperability standards to use your EGLD that is liquid staked on MultiversX. You will be able to restake it on Avalanche on products that will be interested in tapping into the economic security of EGLD. But the obvious thing that I see is for sovereign chains. Of course, restaking, since we know that sovereign chains will have a dual economic security model, you can secure your sovereign chain with the token of the sovereign chain, and additionally to that, free gold. This is the perfect partner to build this. They know how to build it already because they have built it already. So it is a smart way to outsource this to a company that is going to have an economic interest to do so. So yeah, that's my perspective on Pell Network. It's a clear shift. I'm happy with what the new xLaunchpad team is doing. because this is a type of company that we didn't have in previous launchpads. Established companies with established user base, with established technology and products. So it is interesting to have those because they bring something that already exists to the MultiversX ecosystem.
I mean, I'm discovering the project while you're talking and while I'm scrolling on the right. Huh?
If you want, Philippe, I can maybe
Go. If you have details,
present
go.
a little bit the project so you can jump in the
At the end, I have some point. Go for it.
But thank you, Arno, for this first overview. I know many people on MultiversX that don't know the risk-taking. It was like DeFi 1.5 years ago before Atom arrived. Nobody knew about DeFi really on MultiversX, and Atom made a lot of work on education to allow people to use the protocol. So I think it's pretty much the same with risk-taking, at the difference that DeFi was born in 2017, we can say. Risk-taking was born 1 year ago. So it's really recent, even on other ecosystems. So just to be maybe clear for everyone, risk-taking makes previously immobilized funds liquid. It's widely used on Ethereum and other ecosystems, and it makes possible to secure protocols with assets that have been staked for securing other ecosystem, especially layer ones. So by this, it's interesting because you add more liquidity and you add more yield for stakers because they will earn from the staking, the first, and also you will earn from the risk taking, and there can be several risk takings. I mean, the same token can be staked into different protocols just by making synthetic tokens. And what Pels is doing is pretty interesting because they can bridge these tokens to make them cross-chain. So, for example, let's speak about the Bitcoin risk taking. People will stake Bitcoin on a protocol on Bitcoin, for example, Babylon, which is the biggest one. Okay. And so they will receive some synthetic token. So the proof of staking token, we can say, and this token will be bridged into Ethereum, MultiversX, and so on. And you will be able to use this synthetic token to securize, to secure other protocols, other platforms, and so on. And what you say is interesting because they want to, Pell Network wants to develop on MultiversX to do the same with the EGLD. So the EGLD that are now staked to secure the layer one, and tomorrow the sovereign chains, for example, you'll be able to use this EGLD to bring security to other platforms protocol, even outside of MultiversX. So saying like this, it's interesting. There are some risks because there are bridges, there are different protocols. The same asset is used several times. So if one protocol have a problem, it can be systemic risks. Remind me the securitization in the traditional finance. I developed all of this in a post I made recently. What I can say, and I will give you the mic, Philippe, just after, is I am in touch with, not with Pell Network, but with Astra Reason, which is the incubator, which we can say convinced Pell Network to come on MultiversX through xLaunchpad. And you are 100% right, Arno. It's a fucking big work from them to convince projects like this to come and rise on MultiversX. So shout out to them. They traveled all around the world to find relevant and interesting projects to build on MultiversX. Maybe I can give you the mic, Philippe, and after I would like to speak a bit about tokenomics. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment. Maybe I can answer, and if I can't, of course, we'll ask to the project. Philippe?
I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, just you explained quite well the restacking and the usage of that. The only point that I want to say is like seems like it's not available to US users. But the only point that I think a little so that means when you want to log into their platform, they ask you to declare that you are not American.
It's pretty normal.
I mean, it's the first time I see it, to be honest. That's why I'm pointing it.
Pretty classical because most of launchpads, most of token sales, when it's regulated, cannot happen on a list of countries. And USA is, in the majority of the case, not in that list. For example, United Kingdom also is not for many token sales. You cannot participate if you're from Great Britain. But yeah, it's not weird. For example, in France, when you launch a token sale, you cannot sell to American people. It's not possible. It's completely forbidden.
Okay.
Because of regulation and so on. So this is not an original point, to be clear. We have questions on the chat about tokenomics, for example. It says
just GRM before,
Yeah,
because
sure.
there is Koa who's asking. Maybe you can explain what liquid is. I think the best way to do so is to explain how you will be able to use your EGLD once Pell Network is deployed. So today, if you have EGLD, you can stake it. If you stake it through xPortal or other means, it's locked. You now have, since Atom launched it, another option that is called liquid staking. It means that you go on Atom. Tomorrow you will have other solutions to do so, but today it's on Atom. You go on Atom and you liquid stake your EGLD, meaning that your EGLD will be staked to validators, but Atom is going to give you a derivative that is another token that is a proof that you have staked EGLD, and you can then do stuff with this new token that is called SEGLD. Through Pell, so this is what liquid means. It means although your token is locked, you can still use it. You can still use the value that it has.
Liquid means also you can trade it.
Yeah. So through Pell Network, and this is what we're excited about with Atom, it means that you are going to be able to use liquid stake TGLD and restake them again. So let's say that tomorrow, in a few, I don't know when, you have a new sovereign chain launching, or you have a new blockchain launching, and the new blockchain has a partnership with the MultiversX Foundation. And they're launching their token, but they don't have much economic security because their token is new, and they want to tap into EGLD economic security. Well, if you have SEGLD, so liquid staked EGLD, you will be able, through Pell Network, to restake your EGLD to secure this new blockchain or this new project that wants to tap into economic security of EGLD. And so you will earn MultiversX staking rewards and this new blockchain staking rewards. Of course, they won't be in EGLD, those new rewards, but you will get rewards for providing economic security through your assets.
Very clear. Thank you very much, Arno. Let's continue maybe a bit about the tokenomics. People say I don't like the tokenomics and so on. There will be a strong selling pressure and so on. There are many, just one or two things I would like to precise, not to defend them, but just to clarify. The public sale, so we can say xLaunchpad is a public sale, even if it's not really public, but you know what I mean. I compare to the private sale, the early stage. People that will participate into xLaunchpad will have at TGE 33% of the token, and after they'll be able to claim the rest of their allocation through 5 or 6 months. It's not really clear on the Excel. It shows 6 on the document. It shows 5 anyway. So at maximum, at the 6th month, all the public sale token will be released. At this moment, we'll start the release for the team and the early investors. So just to be clear, everybody who participates in the xLaunchpad will get their token before the team and the early investors get theirs. Okay, this is the first thing. So there will not be a strong selling pressure on the retail. After they get all their token and they are able to sell them, they do what they want, but not before. So that's the first point about the tokenomics. Also, we also have almost all stacking DeFi liquid staking project on blockchain. We are starting to get a bit lost, and I find that everything is spread over too many projects. Well, you know what? If you want MultiversX to be top 50, you need to have a full DeFi ecosystem on it. So restaking is big elsewhere. We need to have restaking on MultiversX. Everybody is free to use it or not, but let me try to do something for you. I think I can do
I was
this.
trying to make it funny. I mean, it would be nice to have my forefinger that go in front of the pictures.
Yeah, but I prefer this display if you don't mind.
You can put the right one a little above and make the comment on the bottom right.
This is better. No,
That's better, I think. Like
but you know what? When you speak, I will put you in big. Okay.
I don't care, man. I'm fine.
But you it was funny. Okay, so that's it. Looks like what SBF did with the FTX. If one fell, everything crumbles. No, I think we can't compare. What did SBF using funds of the customers to pay things, loans, and to borrow money and so on. So it was no separation between the funds of the customers and the funds of the company. So this is something completely different. But I think you can compare to what the traditional finance does by taking an asset, and normally it should be immobilized, like a loan, for example, and they will make it like an asset. So it's securization. In France, we speak about treatisation. And so they will make an immobilized asset. They will make it liquid to get more liquidity and, of course, to provide more yield. So it's something I think we can compare to this. So, of course, people that thinks that the traditional finance has many default with the systemic risk of it cannot like risk-taking. But there's one thing, and I give you the mic, Arno, one different thing. On risk-taking, it's all about smart contract. So nobody can, of course, intervene in the process. So if the smart contract is solid, audited, and so on, of course, the risk is minimum. On the traditional finance, a bank, a financial institution, politicians can, do things to make it less solid. Arno?
Yeah, what could be super risky is if you start allowing people to do risk-taking with assets that are actually collateral. This is where you don't want to go, because there it becomes super dangerous. So as long as you're using an asset that is staked to secure a network and you want to reuse it to secure another network or another platform, it's fine. We are allowing people and projects and chains and ecosystem to tap into economic security of assets. And Bitcoin is a big market, because Bitcoin restaking is a big market because it has the biggest economic value. Where I don't remember who in the chat I read this, but somebody said, I think it was Urukubar, who said there is an issue. It's not native Bitcoin. Well, of course, it's not native Bitcoin. But there is one issue with this. And I agree with him in the fact that even if it's not native Bitcoin, the issue is that Bitcoin is super slow. I read a research of, let's say that you have a panic effect. The current people who hold Bitcoin would not be able to withdraw their Bitcoin within the next, I think it was 2 or 3 months, if everybody wanted, because the chain is so slow, etc., etc. So
it was a post from Justin Bonds.
Yes.
In case of a bank run on Bitcoin. I let you finish.
Yeah. So this is in my opinion, with Bitcoin restaking, this is the only shadow there. It's when Bitcoin is not native Bitcoin, then it becomes a derivative on other chains, and then Bitcoin becomes, we could have an ESDT token on MultiversX that is a wrapped Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin becomes fast as the MultiversX chain allows it to become. But the truth is, the actual collateral value, the actual economic security value is on the Bitcoin chain. So if something is happening, the worst case scenario, then there is this potential issue. And even if it's like a drama Armageddon issue, this issue still exists. So it's there.
At the protocol level, we don't care at all. I mean, transactions will take time. People maybe will lose money because of the timing and the spread and so on. But at a protocol level, on Bitcoin, and I spoke with someone that knows very well Bitcoin. This is not the news. This is not new. We know that on the mainnet, because we're not speaking about Lightning Network, but on the mainnet on Bitcoin, okay, we know the scalability is limited. It's part of the security of the protocol, by the way. So of course, if everyone wants to withdraw to sell that token at the same time, it will take times, and of course the price will be affected by this. But this is, in my opinion, the same on the traditional finance. If everyone wants to draw cash at the same time, it will take time for the bank to give the money and maybe to print some money. So I don't think it's a big issue at the protocol level, either for Bitcoin, for Pell Network, and so on. Of course, it can bring some volatility if everyone wants to withdraw their money. But well, it's the same on many other ecosystems. So it's a risk for your money, of course. But at a protocol level, well, you know what? Blocks will one block after the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but it's great for EGLD. And it's interesting. It's more utility for EGLD. It's potential more economic incentives for EGLD holders who want to participate in restaking. So that's great news. That's great news.
Yeah. So of course, we'll try to have an AMA with them because there are many questions unanswered at the moment. And because it's a pretty complex project, it's not a metaverse with AI. It's not a consumer app to create data. It's something more complex, more depth in the DeFi mechanisms. So we'll try to get to know more. But yeah, one thing, if I have a critic, and I made it on my page, is provide more resources for education. If you want, you know what, on other ecosystem, maybe you don't need it. But on MultiversX, people want to know what they do, want to know where they put their precious EGLD. And so, yeah, provide more effort to make people understand why and what you are building. Second thing that is important, you spoke about it, Arno. They have, they're interested in sovereign chain, as they say. So people on MultiversX are asking, okay, you're raising funds on MultiversX, you want our money, okay, but be clear about what do you want to do concretely on MultiversX, because they have cross-chain ambitions. So if they want to build on Avalanche and on many other ecosystems, MultiversX don't want to be the one who pays for others. This is a clear question that the MultiversX community have. Let's hope they will answer it quickly. And we welcome Tikapo. Hello, Tikapo. What's up?
Hello, boys. How are you guys?
Very good. Thank you for joining.
My pleasure.
Hey, Tikapo.
Hi, bro.
Nice to have you there, man.
Yeah. Happy to see you too, guys.
Tikapo, he looks like he's in another world.
Yeah.
I always
you have a halo of light, and you have several lights.
It's all about aura. I already have this halo for years now, and it's a part of me. I don't want to correct it. That's it. That's my signature.
Part of the brand. Can I ask a question about the protocol quickly, guys?
Sure.
So first of all, what is the token used for? And second question, for example, let's say I have BTC on the blockchain, on the mainnet of BTC. Can I stack them somewhere, getting reward, and have a liquidity token that I can then restack on EGLD on another chain? Or there is no way to stack my Bitcoin, my real Bitcoin?
Babylon.
Okay, so through Babylon, I cannot do it on the mainnet. In fact, I have to transfer them to Babylon.
Bitcoin is a proof of work blockchain, so you cannot stake it.
No, but I could transfer to a wallet that gives me the liquid token plus reward somewhere.
It's Babylon.
It's Babylon. Okay.
On Bitcoin, you have Babylon, which is the biggest proof of stake protocol on Bitcoin. Okay. And this is the synthetic token issued by Babylon that will be used by Pell Network to be bridged to be used on other ecosystems.
Another chain. Okay, perfect. It's a token, and I don't know what he's doing for it.
And about this, if you give me 1 second, I can answer. Give me 1 minute because I have the information and I gave it to people.
So what's up, Tikapo? Everything's fine?
Yeah, we're still hard coding as always. And congratulations for your work, bro. Just saw your post this morning, and I have to quote this because we really need that kind of tool. So great job about that. And still around, and we'll come back with some podcasts maybe next week. But we're still here, like always.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's always good to be there, man. I mean, as long as I can be, I will be there. I mean, it's nice people, nice group. Yeah, and regarding the repo, it's something that is needed by the ecosystem. So instead
let's answer about the utility of the token, and after we'll jump about what I wanted to speak with you, Philippe and Tikapo especially. But just to answer, so the token utility, we can find staking for running Pell node, because we need to maybe to remind what Arno said before. there will be nodes on Pell networks, so people will validate the transactions like it's a blockchain. Okay, so it will use for this staking for DVS listing. DVS, it's the mechanism to validate the bridged assets. C'est dur à dire ça, incentivizing ecosystem participants, economic scalability, and cross-border accessibility. Okay, so let's be honest, it's not really clear, but there are utilities behind this token. So can't wait to know more about this. But this is what is public at the moment.
Perfect. Thanks.
So, Philippe, 2 questions for you. Now we are all of us. First, what did you post this morning in a few words so everybody can understand what is it?
So this morning I posted just a quick description of an initiative that I would like to start. So to make it simple, since 2-3 years I'm developing a template quite nice to deploy and bootstrap dApps on MultiversX, and I'm throwing everything open source, that other project can take it and bootstrap their project and evolve maybe from an old version that they have with a single front end to something a little more mature if they want to add new functionalities, to increase the complexities, and to make their service.
We lost you, Philippe. Philippe, we lost you.
Back?
Yes, now.
People don't want me to talk about it.
Your sense
I know when I cut us out quickly. So the idea is to provide a set of repository for project to start a proper architecture for a dApp using the best technology. Like we can go to the post, there's more details, but the idea is to develop a front end, a back end that have a secure communication with signature of a token when logging with a wallet. So to be sure that that all the data of your backend are not like attacked like an animal and open to everyone. And secondly, in fact, that's also allowed project to connect to a private API or to an API with a token. Because today, okay, the main problem today, that's what our result, to make it simple, the main problem today is like, and I'm not complaining about it, we have an open API that is free from the foundation. So that's cool, that's nice, that's great. The only problem with that, you have a lot of projects that rely entirely on it. So they just have one front end that communicate with the API. And the day that either they break the rate or they need to switch to another API to have more resources, or because they need more info or whatsoever, they are totally stuck, in fact, because they need to have a backend to make the communication between both. And it's a pain in the ass, let's be fair, to make this transition if you don't have the knowledge to do it. And even worse, if you haven't thought about your front end the right way at first place. So what I'm providing right now for free, it's already available on my GitHub, not perfect, and I need to work on the documentation whatsoever. But the idea is like today you can just go on my GitHub, you see 3 repository, MVX dApp frontend, MVX dApp backend. So these one are the core element that creates a container, okay, each of them. And then you have the MVX dApp infra. So if you want to start to have a look of what the things deploy, you can just clone this repository and follow the README. And the idea is like it will deploy you a dApp that you can easily configure, that it's about the logo, that it's about the color, that it's about the list of tokens that you want to list on your backend, the list of NFTs, like all these different. When you just start it and the thing is running. After a project, just have to take the front end, adapt it for their needs, take the backend, add more endpoint for what they need, and dot. In addition to that, I also created on the backend a simple relay. So for example, if right now any project have a dApp that just rely on one front end, they can just take my template, adapt the front end to their own, in fact, and just use the backend as an API because it will relay the transaction to any API that they want to use. So right now they can still remain on the public, and after that they can just change the variable in their backend, and that will provide the right connection. And on top of that, voilà, the cherry on the cake is like I throw an entire CI/CD GitHub that builds a Docker image, runs the test and everything at once, so people can just like improve and whatsoever. And the idea is like that I would like that more projects come, add more features. So for example, I have a model to send token with a an input for the address of MultiversX, for an SDT amount with the right amount of decimals. I mean, let's maybe talk more for the builder than for the common folks. But yeah, the idea is like I want really to stop seeing a lot of different approach. It's nice also, but the idea is like you have a lot of projects that stay stuck because they don't know how to go forward. And I think this project would be the key for them to really own the techno and go further faster.
Okay, Tikapo, what's your take on this as a developer?
Definitely something that the community needs this, because at the moment you can find some templates made by the core team in different frameworks such as Vue.js, Next.js, and React by default. And after that, you can do some basic, I will say, operation on the blockchain with the demo they put into that templates. But people, if they want to do simple stuff, but a little bit tricky, let's say you will need to put the hands into the code, they will feel stuck because they will have to go into the documentation, and then they have to be a kind of disappointed, because that's the point I've already, suggested to the team to improve that. But I know this is a work in progress, so no problem about that. But this is a pain point at the moment to onboard devs. And with the tool that Philippe just gave us at the moment, that's really awesome, because as a developer, you develop your infrastructure with some components and on your front end. So component is like little box doing stuff that you can replicate and call whenever you want into your code. And that's really great to have this as a basics, because dev can start with the template that Philippe already made. And like he said, you just have to change a variable to be able to send token and do so on. You don't have to understand how it works and go into the documentation or try to find some code on Stack Overflow to interact with it. And with all the experience as a DevOps that Philippe has, he includes the CI/CD. That's really important if you want to deploy a real the app that could scale and that could be tested. And if you have to onboard some DevOps or other dev into your project, you will need to implement it, by the way. So it's much harder to do it with the template we have at the moment, because this is a standalone template versus all the package Philippe give us with his realization. So a great stuff for the community.
Thanks. Yeah, and the template from the foundation, it's just relying on one front end.
Yeah.
So it triggers the API, the public API. It's nice, but we saw recently that when the API crashed, in fact, half of the ecosystem is offline. I mean, and yeah.
Thank you, Dr. X.
Sorry again?
Thank you, Dr. X.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. We have a lot of transactions, but at the end, we saw that too many people are relying on the public API, and we need to work together to give more independence to the project.
Thank you, Philippe. What about Autoscale? People are asking, what about Autoscale? You just joined the team.
Yeah.
So people are asking about the roadmap. What can you tell us about Autoscale?
Oh man, I mean, I'm not sure it's my role to give dates. I hate that, but the communication will come really soon. I mean, we are discussing every day with the team and discussing about the deadline and the ambition that we have over the next months. We are also closing deals with partners and and some other project that I love. He's smiling back behind his hand. But no,
we can say that you are part of the Atom grant program. You're the first project that were chosen for this program. It was announced a few days ago.
Yes. So that's true that we are working closely with Atom, because let's be fair, the first use case of Autoscale will be using the protocol from Atom and all the different incentives that are putting with their pools, and to provide an APR with AutoCompound to our users. I mean, we will rely on Atom for the first phase, for sure, because that's where the DeFi is and what the TVL is on MultiversX. And we are working with them really closely to finalize the smart contracts. So on that, I would say that content did an amazing job. I mean, things are looking quite well. We are working on the finalization of the audit. And after that, we will be probably ready to deploy on the DevNet soon. I would say soon. I would say Q1. Well, I would say Q1 to not give too much information, but that will be in the coming weeks, months, to have the DevNet followed by the mainnet, and then additional feature, additional functionalities, more collaboration with other protocol maybe, and see where we go from there. But at the moment, I would say that I'm really impressed by the team. I mean, like that is like the CEO, Patrice or William, the guy that I'm trying to form on the front end also. We have Sony, we have some people also that are working on the back. Great team. The head on the shoulders, I say, they know where they want to go, they know how to go, and so we go.
Okay.
Voilà. So I would say stay tuned. There is more things coming in the coming weeks, more announcements. It's just I don't want to want the one breaking the ice at the moment, because I mean I just joined the project, and if I start to do that, that's not the best.
Okay,
idea.
thank you very much, Philippe. We'll speak about Autoscale, of course, in the coming weeks. Maybe we'll receive the founder someday. I don't know if he speaks English enough, but anyway, we'll try to do it.
Autoscale coming live is brilliant because GRM will finally be able to do DeFi. After 4 years in crypto, GRM will start making money. That's great.
Need to start Quack and
I am making a few money, but outside of MultiversX. That's my drama. So we spoke about IBAN. No, we did not.
No, we didn't.
Speak about a little bit about the payment services. People are asking when IBAN, when IBAN, when IBAN. I found on the internet something I would like to share with you, but I can't share you an image. So
can I share something, me, and you send me the link?
Let me check something. Okay, I think I will be able to do it like this. Don't move. Okay.
Don't move.
You see my screen here.
Stay in front of your screen.
Wait.
Don't move.
Wait. No, wait, it doesn't work. Fuck. No, it doesn't work. Okay. So I will send you, Philippe, something, because this I really want to show. It's pretty funny. And I will explain. Okay. Can you share this, Philippe?
Can you put it on the chat in the discussion?
I sent you on Telegram. Let me know when it's okay, and I will. Yes, thank you. So, can you zoom?
Yeah, I'll wait. Too much stuff on the back. Let me download that. Sorry. Up.
If you want to have a coffee, guys, feel free. Take your time. It's chill here.
Up, and you get in big even.
Okay, share your screen.
Up. Perfect. Up. So.
We need elevator music.
Yes, I can do this. So I will just put it in background. It will be fun. So as you can see on this post, it's pretty funny. You have a first post. I don't know this guy. Okay, it's not the point. On December 27, 2023, he posted MultiversX EGLD preparing to enter full finance bank mode in Q1 2024 with European Union IBANs in xPortal, debit cards, and probably competing with Revolut and other banks. Oh boy, some people are not ready for what comes. A few moments later. And another post, it was December 19.
A year later.
A few weeks ago. Another year passed. MultiversX did not release EU IBANs. 1 year ago, they said Q1 2024. Another thing, they said it was 2024 will be the year of MultiversX. It did not. Now they say 2025 will be the best year. Are they just trying to milk every drop from this, or what's happening? No drama here, just fun. But it says a lot. I will cut the music, the drama music. But it says, I think, something about the soon. So the IBAN is, in my opinion, let me be big. So the IBAN is very important for MultiversX, because as soon as they provide an IBAN on xPortal, they become like a neobank, because you will be able to deal with euro and crypto. So far they have a debit card like many other exchanges, but you cannot deal with euro. So this IBAN is not just one more feature, it's the way to enter into the neobank and certain payment service and bank services providers. So it was announced end of 2023. We are early 2025, and it's pretty clear, related to what we spoke about xMoney a few minutes before. People are expecting this, and the communication is not very clear about that. So that's, I don't know if you want to say something about this, but it's something that is noted by the community. Who wants to start?
I can
Go, Chika. Go, Chika.
Okay. Yeah, that was something we expected from a long time ago now. We was all very hyped by the presentation of the cards, the tiers at the xDay in Bucharest was great. And then, let's say, silence. After that, we saw xMoney talking about Mika stuff, etc. But we don't see any IBAN and card. But that's really a little bit confusing to see what MultiversX really have in mind with that, because if we only make an analysis sorry about the ecosystem, and I know people will be pissed off about that, but that's the reality. We can see another project into MultiversX called another xZpay. Even if the app is not, let's say, really stable at the moment, we don't have it into iOS. They rely on partnership with Austria Card, and they will be able to have an IBAN and cards. So we don't know what's missed to MultiversX to make this achievement. Have there a bigger plan that we don't know at the moment, with big partnerships, or maybe acquiring something bigger that we don't know at the moment before releasing the other tiers of the cards and releasing the IBAN? I don't know. That's clear that the community really need more information about that, because a lot of people is waiting after that, and xMoney making wave with some other project like delivering the guilds and so on, talking about merchant and so on, but they don't see the alchemy between xMoney and MultiversX and then the card and IBAN at the moment. So they are in the flu and they want to see more. I want to see more too, because I'm curious to know what's the thing are not moving like they want at the moment, and let's see what will happen.
Arno, Philippe?
Yeah, just to add something, because he made a point. I mean, we are still waiting on the platinum card, metal card, all these things. I mean, like it was. I mean, it's. I know it's that kind of difficult aspect that make a lot of time to get settled. So the only problem is, like, when you announce soon and when you announce the date, your stuff should be just ready. I mean, like, maybe that's my way of doing things. That's why I don't communicate for 6 months and then I start to communicate. That's maybe my problem also. That's a middle, something in between is maybe a good thing. After, I'm wondering, because I heard about, for example, that there was some limitation. That means when on xPortal, for example, again, it didn't happen to me, but I didn't reach that point yet. But when you reach a certain amount of money that you transfer into euro, you're locked. So I heard that story multiple times. I didn't verify it, so I don't want to be the one spreading it's fake news. Let me know if it's fake. If someone from the core team want to tell me that I'm lying, just let me know. But reaching a certain threshold, and I think it's 10,000K, your xPortal is locked. Locked. You cannot transfer more euro to your account. I don't know why, and I think that's probably the reason behind that is also blocking the IBAN. But I've no idea the reason why, and why is not been fixed in more than 2 years. Fine, it's almost in almost 2 years.
It's not that you're blocked. It's that you have to show proof of funds, etc. Where they're coming. You have to regulate yourself, basically.
Yeah, but I mean, they ask for. I mean, I don't even. Okay, it's what I mean. It didn't happen to me, but I know that something happened reaching a certain threshold, and I don't know if, for example, involving IBAN into that mean that you have to be regulated somehow. That is, I don't know the reason. I'm just pointing that there is still things that need to be think before to arrive at the IBAN. Unfortunately, I don't know why they announced it so fast. I think they were not ready. And I think from a legal point of view, or maybe because they try to be xMoney global or whatever, it takes a little more time. Honestly, I have no answer about that. That would be nice to have something from the core team, but it's not a priority, I think, from my point of view. But just don't talk about it if you're not ready.
People need to understand the maybe the detail of the payment service industry. You have two choices. Either you can go through a third party who will allow you to offer payment services, IBAN, Euro account, bank card, and so on. This is what many company are doing because they don't want to support the risk themselves. Okay, so they are like renting these services through a third party, a company that is a payment service provider. Or you can decide to support the risk and to provide yourself and to support the risk of these services. For example, we have D-Block in France, which I received the vice president Claire Balva, and she told us that they are supporting the risk. So they got the regulation thing and all the financial thing to be able to provide these services themselves without having to go through a third party. It's pretty expensive. It's a lot of work, but it's really sustainable because you don't have to pay fees at every time the user is using something. You need to understand that when you use, for example, these payment services, every time you use your card, every time you make a bank transfer, every time you withdraw some cash, the issuer is paying a fee. So it can be very expensive. So that's why it's more economical and more sustainable to provide yourself the service so you can manage the fees. And you can also rent these services to another company so you can generate revenue from this. So I don't know what's the strategy about MultiversX and xMoney and so on about that. But to be clear, it's not a big deal to go through a third party. You need to pay several dozens of thousands of dollars. It's not millions, okay? It's between 40 and 50, maybe 70K, okay, to develop the thing. And after, you need to pay a fee every time a customer is using the card, the bank account, and the IBAN, and so on, okay? So this doesn't take much time. Let's be clear. In less than 1 year, maybe even less, you can do it. It's not a problem. Or if you want to do it by yourself without going through a third party, can take, of course, more time. In my opinion, because xMoney is an establishment of electronic money, they want to do it by themselves. So that's why it takes so much time. But we come back to the marketing point. Always the same. If you announce it end of 2023, you need at the moment to have a vision to be able to release the things in the coming month, or you know what I mean. But one more time, they announce something, and after no news about it, and many months after, there is nothing. So it's always the same problem.
And if I can add one thing to go in your direction, right now, if you want to emit some cards, you either have Mastercard or Visa. You have Maestro in Germany, but that's something special. So at the end, when you have a card, and if you want to have this xPortal card, you will see it's a Mastercard. So you use the Mastercard network. What is possible, I would be really happy, but I think it's really far-fetched. Maybe they try to make their own payment protocol. So because right now, when you use Mastercard or Visa, you will have always fees that go to Visa or Mastercard. And that's kind of something that bring a lot of money. I mean, it's one of the most rentable companies in the world, Visa and Mastercard. So maybe what they are aiming, and maybe what they thought was possible, was to create their own payment protocol in parallel, and then they face mastodons in regulation and in.
Because you need to raise hundreds of millions.
I mean, no, it's not even that. It's like the time that you get insured, that you get like certified. Like I think, yeah. I mean,
clear. Let's be clear. You cannot do everything. So if you want to compete with Mastercard or Visa, let's be clear. Just issue your euro stable coin, and you don't need these payment providers. You can do payment all over the world, all over Europe, by the way, and it can be something more relevant, more economical, and more trendy. So it's an hypothesis, but I hope they're not trying to compete with Visa or Mastercard as a protocol of payment, but we'll see. Arno?
Yeah, from what you said, GRM, 100% the vision with Utrust and TwistPay becoming xMoney is to become a full-fledged financial service company. And the next step is, it's not IBANs. The next step is native stablecoins. And this is coming this year. And this is, I think, why we didn't have Circle, Tether, etc., because, you know, when you see the utility of having a native stablecoin, the cost of it, yes, it's high, but you know, you pay for it. The fact that MultiversX didn't want to do this showed that they had a vision for for this specific use case, because those are becoming a stablecoin issuer is a very profitable business. You're taking the risk, you're taking all the legal risk, processing, the funds reserves, etc. But once it's done, we see Tether. You know, it is the most profitable company on the planet when you see the size of its size. So MultiversX wants to do this by themselves, and once they will have this, as you said, it will open up for more new opportunities. So I would say this is the next step. IBAN, I don't know. Personally, I don't know why people fixate on IBAN. I don't know, like,
Because it was announced. No, and I
oh,
think
okay.
not just because of that, because proposing an IBAN will make transaction euro crypto more seamless. You know, the main problem here on payment between euro and crypto is the banks sending euro to buy crypto and sending funds from a crypto account to a classic bank. So if you propose an IBAN and crypto services, you make it easier for users. And deblock, for example, is the perfect example. This is their baseline. The account that accept crypto too. So it's not just because they announced, but because I think MultiversX users would like to manage their euro and crypto more easily, and MultiversX committed about this. You cannot reproach the community to expect what the core team sold them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's just you have alternatives today, so it's just it's not like it's game changing in our users' lives. So
Yeah,
maybe it's just me, but
no, I think you're right. That means that for me, it would be nice for us to have it. But for example, I'm not seeing myself using the IBAN on xPortal. Honestly, I mean, like, to give me an IBAN today would be fun. I would have it on my stuff. But as long as, for example, if you want the IBAN, you need to have professional account. That would be the only real use case. I mean, that meant my company bank account through xPortal.
Why?
Because I know that my account will not be logged because I make transfer on Binance. I know that my stuff I know that I will be with a bank that is like pro crypto, and
Same
that
for retail.
Sorry?
Same for retail.
Same for retail, but the thing is retail, and I don't have employee depending on that. I don't have like bills waiting on that. I don't know. For me, the only real use case would be for professional more than private on xPortal, and you will bring more people from. For me, you will not bring more people from Web 2 to Web 3 because of IBAN. It's more features that will be used from people to Web 3. So I don't see it as a big cobblestone, but again, it has been announced. Like Xworld, it should be either re-announced or declined. I don't know.
I disagree with you, definitely, because the main problems are with retailers. Retailers actually, they have problems. They have bank accounts that are closed because they interact with crypto in any way. So no, I think retail is a big market about this. And you know what? It would be also a big announcement for MultiversX because they would be the first layer one
Fair enough.
to provide bank services. We have Newsys, for example. It's a layer 2, and you have many like Revolut and so on, but it's not a blockchain behind. So I think it's a big deal. This IBAN is not just marketing. It's a real feature to make MultiversX enter into the bank industry, or at least the payment services industry. So I think it's relevant. But anyway, let's move on. So let's speak about there are three last topics. Three. So we'll have to choose maybe. So you guys will choose. First, we have the Bowbird thing. Second, we have the new liquid staking from XOXNO. You, Tikapo, wrote a thread about it, so it will be interesting to speak about it. And we have the progresses of sovereign chains. You, Tikapo, is building a sovereign chain through another company. You'll tell us about it if you want. Anyway.
Not building a sovereign chain, building an app on a sovereign chain.
Oh, okay. Thank you for correcting. But you know what is a sovereign chain, and you know what's happening. Correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So three tough topic, we can say. Which one do you want to start with? It's completely up to you. You choose.
We can go for sovereign.
Arno, you want to start by Bober maybe? Or XOXNO liquid staking?
it's not just liquid staking, it's their full-fledged lending protocol and liquid staking. And I also saw that they did isolated vaults similar to Morpho.
I would like to focus, because we don't have hours and hours, maybe to focus about the instant unlock. This is the main innovative feature that everybody's talking about. And I think the community would like to know, is it really useful? What's the risks? Who provides the buffer? I think this is something that, of course, we'll speak later about the whole protocol that XOXNO is building, if you agree. Because if not, we'll spend too much time. So we start by sovereign chain quickly, and after let's go for another topic. So in a very quick, uh, let's add some quick context. Sovereign chain is the main feature that MultiversX is communicating about for around one year. Now it's live on testnet. Okay, this is what Robert keep tweeting about. It's ready. It's on testnet. We are organizing the audit to make it live. This is what we have, I think.
Mhm.
But many people says it's not that simple. Longin is asking questions to Robert on Twitter.
Mhm.
Weird way to communicate between partners. Other people are saying it's bullshit. It's just testnet, but nothing's ready. So Robert has to justify it's the way we do. It's a completely normal standard. Is coding industry. We don't understand anything. We're not developers. So please, guys, can you enlighten us about what's going on with sovereign chain? Maybe Tikapo to start.
Yeah, sure. Let's say I chose to make a brand new D app that we'll have time to talk another time and build it on Onefinity. So some months ago, I've reached Longin to know more about his sovereign. You have to know the characteristic, the state of development, because you need to know what kind of stuff you will have to do yourself. We know they are working on a EVM chain, so be able to run Solidity smart contract on MultiversX ecosystem, because the smart contract will be able to run different type of tech, no problem on that. And then they create a dev group where we are able to talk. And first, we saw a lack of communication between MultiversX and Onefinity at the moment where they don't have any visibility of the availability of the updates that we bring the epoch change to the testnet when Onefinity was built. So they build that with BuildIt. They have, I think, I don't know if this is something like every week or once a month. I don't know the temporality, but they have calls with the MultiversX team. But yeah, the communication seems to be broken. So we just, as me, myself, and other people into the ecosystem, look about the repo. And to be honest, if you don't, let's say, put your eyes everywhere, try to find how to deploy net, it's quite hard. The fact that you can run it locally by some configuration, but to start to define and design an architecture for that and an ecosystem around it, it's quite complicated from the Git repository. That's why I'm not really, let's say, agree with the it's ready to go for a testnet. You need a team for that. You need someone who will be able to help you to run that and design it. That's the most important thing. I need design it. And around that, we can sort of, you say, the communication of Longin on Twitter and Robert replying to him. And we seems that the communication is, kind of broken. And that's a little bit weird because Longin is the only one staying to building a sovereign at the moment. If we bring back at the beginning of the idea of sovereign, the EVM one was the most important one, because this is where the liquidity is, and I will not do the let's say the success of if you already know what the ecosystem can afford and give to MultiversX. And now we have the impression that not the priority anymore, and that's quite weird. Cyber go to Solana, Midas go on Ethereum, another go on Ethereum. They all have the possibility to build a sovereign, and they don't do it. And Longin is the only one standing on the side of MultiversX and pushing to release his sovereign. And now if we rely on the word of Longin, he's done his part, so they are ready, but he will not publish a sovereign without an audit. That's relying on the MultiversX side. So MultiversX said this month the audit should be start. So waiting about an announcement about the start of the audits to be sure that it's a work in progress and not another announcement. That's the main priority, because if we don't have that, my biggest fear is that the only one builder trying to make a sovereign when put more than 200K into it go into another ecosystem. That's the pain point for MultiverseX. So we really want to have more clarity about that. We know the repo is public. We know everybody can fork it and start building on something on this machine, but what's really needed to start a sovereign right now, and how not expectedly the foundation, but how the team will be on the side of the project that choose to build a sovereign, how the implication will be. They said they do a lot of things. I'm sure they do. There was on the side of Onefinity at the beginning for that, but right now we can see a lot of let's say misunderstanding between the team, and we don't know why, and that's critic, I think, for this feature of MultiverseX.
If I
Thank
may,
you very much for this first overview, Philippe.
yeah, no, to go in the direction. I mean, like, so the thing is, like, everything is open source and available on GitHub to everyone if you want to run your sovereign chain. So that's clear, that's fine. As a developer, I can see it, even if it's something complex to do, so it's fine. I think the problematic at the moment is like the entire infrastructure that is around. And for example, to make the link to the repo when I released last month, I think, when there was the API problem to deploy your own Elasticsearch with everything automatically connected either to mainnet or DevNet, we need to have the tools that are capable to plug to sovereign chain.
Yeah.
So right now I start a sovereign chain. Let's say anything. I don't care. We don't care about the subject. What do I need? I need to deploy the Explorer. I need to deploy a wallet. I need to deploy like some possibility to have a notifier or anything like that. All the tools and all the resources that are provided for the mainnet, DevNet, testnet at the moment need to accept another configuration that is a sovereign chain ID. And when you have that, you can just run it and the thing is connected to the chain. At the moment, it's not finished. This part is not finished. But I mean, you can run the sovereign chain, having all the stuff running, it's true, but then all the tools around that have been built by the foundation cannot be connected and deployed as easily as I would love to. And I think that's the problematic. So that means either you develop your own Explorer whatsoever dedicated to your sovereign chain that is capable to scan the token and do everything by itself, but then you don't want to put it public because it's your baby. You did it yourself. It's a lot of work. Let's be fair, it's a lot of work. While in fact, what we need is to maybe create, and that's a point that I discussed with Mihai, for example. We need to create, for example, tasks, like create a project on GitHub with tasks on the different repository to create activities on it, and that people can fix some issues. I mean, right now on the API provider, for example, I want to be able to configure a little more the granularity of my observer to just gather information that are important for me. Right now, you have to take the entire blockchain. It's working, but as a project that want to develop his product, I don't want that. I want something that I can configure. And right now, same with my template, for example, it's something that I want to make clear. The template, you can either choose mainnet, or ideally you choose a sovereign chain ID, and then the stuff is directly connected to the sovereign chain. But for that, you need to adapt the other tools. And
Just a quick question. Do you think 50K is enough to motivate people to come and co-build this infrastructure? So we can mention the tools that you're talking about, but also the audit, which we know are very expensive. So do you think the program, the grant program, is enough to attract people to build these sovereign chains? I see Tikapo is saying no with the head, maybe.
Yeah, clearly not, because as I said, you will need a team. That's a good start to maybe do some research and development. But before going mainnet, before going auditing, because you will do some adjustment to that sovereign chain. You use a SDK, but on the top of that, you will build something, and that cost a lot of money just for to go on production. And after that, you have all the infrastructure, the team to that's not enough, because by the way, in definition, that's mean build a chain. So that's quite hard, and I know that the foundation don't have unlimited money. That's not the question. But if we want to compete with Cosmos and so on, we need to do better at that point.
Okay.
I have a question for you guys, just quickly, please, Jerem, because I think it's an important one. We are in a world where you can raise money through business angels, through VCs, through launchpads. So I have a question for you. If 50K grant, and grant is money given, it's not even money for equity or whatever. If 50K is not enough, and the viability, the economic viability, the business plan of building an EVM sovereign chain is good, where is the problem in going to xLaunchpad, presenting the idea, the economic viability of the project, and raising 2 million? Where is, I mean, it's not like there aren't any resources. All the things that you said, technical wise, the documentation, the communication with the MultiversX team, all this is a reality. I can't deny this. But the resource part, we are in a world where you can share the risk if you're able to pitch the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's getting money from business angels, from VCs, from launchpads, etc., etc. I mean, a company like AI Nexus has just done it. We are lucky to have a launchpad on MultiversX that is very easy to access, to pitch, because there is a speed route to it.
Yeah.
So why isn't Onefinity Longin doing that? I don't know if he tried.
Yeah, he don't try, but he have the proposition. He talk about this in his Telegram, and the only way to do it was to create a brand new token, and then leave that one, on the side. But he don't want to do it because he quite.
Why do you have to create a brand new token? Pell Network is not creating a brand new token.
That was the mandatory. That's the point. That's why he said, I can give you the 100%. That's
well, we have a proof that it's not the case.
But that's what he said. So I can tell you I see the paper, and that was So that's why, and I can understand it where he already start a lot of communication around it. People already early staking their token and then the NFT, etc. And if that was a real mandatory, I can understand his frustration and his no-go for a Launchpad, 100%. Don't know if you want to add something.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's something that need to be resolved by project, but for example, like the script to run validator nodes should be the same that you run on mainnet, devnet, testnet, or any sovereign chain. Because I don't want, me as a validator, for example, I don't want to have like 500 scripts running differently. I just want to have a configuration file that depends. That's the point of interoperability. But we use the same set of tools, and I don't want to start to see 1,100 like different kind of deployment script that are some of them not maintained, badly maintained, not following the updates whatsoever. Mm-hmm. We need to have something that is reusable for the entire ecosystem. Unfortunately, that's either go through the foundation, or you need to have an actor that the foundation are putting forward with tools that can be reused, and you form this stuff, but should not be dedicated to one project for that. I give you one example after we switch subject because we will run out of time. But for example, I'm a little annoyed at the moment that I still see the name Elrond in a lot of repositories. That's something that for me is really painful, because we need to change that. So that means when you run nodes today, you have folders that are called Elrond utils, Elrond nodes, and that should change. I understand that they want to still be working with the old version, but they need to put something in place to get rid of that. And without that, I don't see the step further for sovereign chain like that.
Concretely, I am not a developer, so I don't have a technical tech. Everybody knows about it. But intuitively, I would say that normally, like the Cosmos SDK, for example, the foundation builds all the infrastructure, a complete SDK. It's live, it's audited, it's full, it's complete. And after you launch the grant program to attract projects and to co-build with them the specific sovereign chains. There, they decided to communicate about sovereign chains, to build it progressively. After, it was about co-building, co-audited, and so on. The truth is, builders, in my opinion, don't have time to build such infrastructure. And maybe, but tell me, Tikapo, if what I'm saying is relevant. Maybe it's not. Longin is ready to invest in his sovereign chain, but by co-building the infrastructure with the core team, basically he is building the infrastructure for all the next sovereign chains. And so he says, okay, I will put my money to build something that other builders will use. It's not my job, it's the foundation job to build this layer, this first layer on which builders will be able to build on. So is it relevant or is it inappropriate? Just let me know.
I think on the part that he already invest a lot of money, of his personal money on it, to get the status at the moment of his own sovereign. But at the end of the day, he will be able to, he will be forced, let's say that, to be aligned with MultiversX to arrive to a version of the SDK that will be common to everybody who want to build a sovereign. So the base of the code will be the same for everyone, and then the people that will build on the top of that will have their let's say custom sovereign, you know. But he have his specificity, he co-build with the MultiversX team. Then when they will release the audited SDK, that will be a, let's say, a V1 of it, you know. And after that, the customization will continue to happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, the builder need to build the point, the proof of concept. So
At the moment, yeah.
This is weird.
Just they need to define their needs. The thing, I think also the foundation need to understand that they cannot. I mean, the sovereign chain opens so many doors at the end that you cannot create a repository that will be able to tackle all the possibility at first. Like say you will have different versions, you will have an evolution over the time, depending on the need, depending on the evolution of the protocol itself, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is like, that's true that at the moment, if it's the case that they ask Logion to do it by himself and put it open source, that's something that need to be incentivized. I mean, somehow.
Okay.
But you cannot ask them to, or yeah, they can build it by their own, do it on their corner, but they know exactly that in 6 months the foundation will and should. I mean, if they don't, that would be a problem. They need to release their own. So why should I do it on my own repository? Same with my template. Right now, if tomorrow they decide to do a template, mine go back in the dust. That doesn't.
Yeah, but to deliver a first version, people can get it, can use it, and after you can iterate. But the thing is, they did not deliver anything, just words. And after they are asking people to come and to invest and to build and so on, I don't know.
That was more co-building than invest your money, do your stuff, and we will monitor, you know. And that's why, yeah, you're right on the fact that for this proof of concept, they need an entrepreneur to take the risk, build it with them. And then I think that's already, let's say, align and fix a lot of issue that they don't have in mind. And now, they will arrive soon at V1 or V0, call it one as you want. That will be the basement of the SDK, and then everybody will be able to build on the top of it. But they are building the foundation in co-development at the moment.
I mean, if you want to know, Tikapo, what I advised to the core team was to create a project on GitHub on their organization to list all the tasks that need to be done on the different public repo. I mean, I would like to see that happen. So that means that you have a list of all the remove Elrond duties, rename that, take in consideration the capacity to filter the token better, like to see, in fact, and to track the task, because, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of repo in the foundation. I mean, it's crazy how many repos there are there. So it's nice, it looks nice, but there's a bunch load. And at the end, the people, the developers, the sovereign chain maybe need 10, 15 of them. So at the end, it would be better to regroup them in terms of, okay, I want to build a sovereign chain, or I want to build an NFT solution, or I want to build DeFi, and in fact, to regroup the different tasks and the different requirements that are in the foundation.
Okay.
I mean, for example, if the discussion between Logion and the core team would be public, saying we need that, we need that, we need that, even myself, I could jump on some tasks and tackle them. Right now, I have no idea what they are doing. Yeah. So I'm happy that Logan put that on Twitter, because I can start to see what they are needed, what is required. My stuff with the API, maybe I can improve it faster for the sovereign chain. I mean, after but again, you always need incentive. Me, I don't have my own sovereign chain, even if I'm planning on some stuff and I'm designing some crap. At the end, the tools are not ready yet to bootstrap, and I don't want to do it on my own. I prefer to do it for the community.
Okay, thank you, guys. Let's move on to the next topic. We have the choice. Instant unlocking on XOXNO, a new DeFi protocol, liquid staking, and the Bober. You choose. I think, Arno, you must leave in 10 minutes. And I would like to have your take about the XOXNO new feature. We spoke about it a few months ago when they announced the launch of their new DeFi protocol, mentioning that the current situation of DeFi and liquid staking on MultiversX was not enough. So that's why they wanted to build theirs. And so we had a discussion about this. So without entering into Atom against XOXNO, it's not the point. The thing is maybe more to clarify which problem XOXNO wants to address. Are these problems real, important, and is the solution of XOXNO interesting to address? So just let's clarify things for people. Arno is from Atom Protocol team, and Tikapo just wrote a post, a thread, explaining the liquid staking protocol coming from XOXNO, and it was a commercial collaboration. So things are transparent for everyone. So who maybe wants to start? Maybe Tikapo, by explaining what XOXNO is building. And after, maybe let's ask Arno what he thinks about it and in what way it can improve what Atom is building. I don't know. I let you.
Clearly, I can go for that.
Okay, let's go.
And you mentioned that, that was a commercial partnership, and I want to be clear about that with the
community. And it was clear on the thread, so no problem.
And about that, I think XOXNO right now are trying to build something that will be break a brand new way to use DeFi on MultiversX. And as you said, that's not really Atom versus XOXNO. This is XOXNO trying to innovate the way we do DeFi on MultiversX. And with that, they want to lower, let's say, the adoption into the DeFi, because the tool at the first approach can seem too much complicated to be used. They want to do a lot of educative content and solution to let anybody like you, I know you don't like DeFi, to be able to use it. So they have a cool feature. I'm continuing to use it on the DevNet because I'm not an expert, let's say, at the moment too. So that's why I said also in the thread. But the feature of the boxes to let's say save the liquidation, avoid your risk, manage it another way. That's a cool approach. The same with the buffer about the staking provider that will be able to be onboarded into that and share the risk with all the staking provider, not
Let's go
only
clear.
one.
Can you explain what brings new XOXNO? What's the innovative
You
features?
don't have to wait 10 days to, let's say, undelegate your liquidity. So that's
Okay.
the main key point.
And for this, they are using a buffer
Yeah,
mechanism. My
yeah.
question is who provides the EGLD? Because it will be on a first come, first served basis. So if there are no EGLD in the buffer, you cannot unlock. So who provides the EGLD? I don't know if you have the information. I searched it on your thread.
I don't do it. That will be the other part. I'm doing my test at the moment and understanding my comprehension about that. But the one element I have, and I will put it in the other thread, the smart contract is public about that. And if you want, all SP will be able to, let's say, how can I say that? To found this buffer, and when people want to take back this buffer, all BV will give a part of it. That will not be one BV that get that buffer out, and you can take the money, and a BV is like let's say
What's the BV?
a BV, not a BV, SP.
What's
An
the
SP. Ah,
staking provider? What is
yeah,
it?
taking provider. That's it. So that's the point. That's the point I'm actually working on. So I can give you a clear idea about that, but I'm looking about it, and that's in the smart contract. You have scoring with that, you got outgoing with that, and that buffer you can be, let's say, reg, because you can take back your EGLD. So that's the point. But yeah, right now I can tell you it for that.
Okay.
GRM, if
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
may, because I know that with Atom, it is a feature that we have looked into. So basically, there's no magic here. Imagine that you have a pool where people who want to stake, who to liquid stake, and people who want to unstake. If there is 1-for-1, there is a swap, basically. If there is not 1-for-1, you have to wait 10 days.
It's clear. But my question is who provides the EGLD in
Other
the
users, other
and
people using the protocol.
and they are incentivized. They have yield on this EGLD that is put in the buffer.
It's not. If let's say you have liquid staked EGLD that you want to unstake,
Okay.
so you ask on XOXNO, you say I want to unstake. Let's say I want to stake, to liquid stake. Then if we have the same amount, we just swap, but there's no yield, there's no incentive for this.
But this is what is possible actually now on the DEX. You can swap the SEGLD for EGLD. It happens today on any DEX.
Yes.
So what's new on XOXNO? They are doing on the platform without a DEX. That's
Yes.
You don't need DEX, yeah. But I have some.
But what you say, GRM, is true. Sorry, Tikapo. If you have SEGLD and you want to get EGLD, if the liquidity in the pool SEGLD, EGLD is good enough, you exchange 1-for-1.
yes.
Otherwise, you
So
lose.
in their case, it's not really a swap. It's like an OTC deal between one people who wants to unstake, etc.
Okay. So is it more or less decentralized?
Then what?
But the two mechanisms with the DEX and without the DEX on the OTC, and which one is the most decentralized, the most secure? It's the same.
The most secure. I have no clue. I mean, for this you need
Okay.
It's smart contracts. So on a DEX, it is a liquidity pair.
Okay.
You're swapping one asset for another.
The
There.
benefit from what XOXNO is building, as far as I understand, correct me, of course, if needed, is there will be no slippage because it's OTC. But of course, it will be possible as long as you have enough EGLD in the buffer.
Yeah, it's the same that we said earlier. If everyone wants to take his ego at the same time, you have to wait. So same result at the end. And I didn't dig enough, so I will not take position. But for what I understand, that means on Atom you can sell it on the market and lose a little because the demand. It's just regulated by the market itself. While here you can also do it on the market. That means that the pool will exist, I think. So you can also exchange it on the deck. So that's fine. But the mechanism that is in place will be like when someone in. If people are waiting for out, in fact, the eagle is directly transferred to the one that was going out, and the ownership of the eagle that are on the pool are swapped from one to another. That's how I get it. What is strange, I mean, and maybe Tikapo, you can answer that, is like, how do they plan to be with the fact that you can migrate your stack from one stacking provider to another? So that should come in the soon.
So they have something. You're not finished.
Yeah, and because as they will have their own smart contract, so either they will deploy a pool on the back to use these functionalities, or do you have, or do you just ignore this thing?
What I know at the moment, I make a little bullet points. I don't have all the info, but I have something interesting. You write it there, like the validator list is a top 60 MultiversX validator. So this is not a non-picking list. So everybody have a chance for that. And each time a user stake their GLD, this amount will be distributed to all the 60 validators and not randomly given to a single one. So the same for staking. The unstaking amount came from the entire validator sets and not from a single randomly chosen validator.
Okay.
So that XOXNO buffer, in fact, if we have that, that will guarantee immediate unstaking without a 10-day onboarding period for limited amount unstaken material. So all these validators will be able to finance it. Then when people want to undelegate their GLD, they can do it because, as they say, that's not picked randomly. You get it?
Yeah, no, it's nice. So they make an abstraction on choosing where the funds are going and with temporizing with who is currently
Exactly.
withdrawing.
And after that, that's why I said in my thread, I will post about it next week because I need to read the smart contract because they are open sourced and you have all the algorithm, the strategy about the score and so on. And I will be able to give you more info about that. But that's really a new kind of approach. I don't know if that's the stuff that will revolutionize everything, but that's a super cool approach. And then after désolé. And then that will be a crazy journey, I think. But that's an original point, and we can also salute the fact that they are trying to do something new, maybe weird at the moment because not everybody understand at the fourth approach how it's worked behind, but that's quite interesting. That's why I will continue to do some research on it.
Perfect. Looking forward to read that.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope it's clear for everyone. Arno, are you there? Will you come back? In the meantime, we will finish this show. And thank you very much, Tikapo and Philippe and Arno, for staying with me until the end. We'll finish by the Bober drama, we can say. And I will, if you agree, start by you, Tikapo. How will I call this sequence? Bober, I think it's enough. So, Tikapo, everything started a few days ago when Bober decided to post something on Twitter related to the research paper of Astra Reason, complaining not being part of MultiversX history. The day after, they posted something around the new feature from Tom, another meme coin on MultiversX. We can say maybe by criticizing the AI visual meme coin generator, by saying that, by illustrating that the quality was not good, and because Bober have an artist, so they were comparing their artist and this very cool feature, by the way. At this moment, I don't know why, but it was the moment I told myself, okay, let's stop. Either we co-build all together. Of course, we can sometimes attack in a very benevolent way, but keep uh, attacking other projects, I think is not healthy. So I made a post, and with this post, I received a lot of DMs. Many people commented in the comment, and revealed some very toxic behaviors from Bober and its community. Racist thing, homophobic thing, insults, manipulation, threats, many things happened on the Telegram, but also elsewhere, trying to attack other projects, other meme coins, other protocols. Anyway, and we had a chat together, Tikapo, and you told me that even you were, we can say, attacked on this Telegram. Maybe can you explain what happened?
Sure, 100%. So I'm never, I will say, interact with the Bober community, but as I said, I don't think I was the guys attacked by the Bober community, but I reached some contents that I saw some expression, that's that that pissed me off, to be honest. That the word, and then I came into that Telegram to understand if they have a problem with the guys who I am, or if they are using that with some expression. I will not say it there, but you can find it on Twitter and so on. And then I don't see, let's say, personal attacks against me, but I think that's maybe a way to chat, a way to say stuff that's not in our mers. I don't know if this is the correct wording for English, but we don't have they talk about a French black guy, and into the multiverses community we don't have so much French guy, black guy coming in front and do some stuff, so yeah, in fact I thought that was me. But if the community have something against me, let's have a chat. I'm doing event where multiverses came to me and give me your grief around me. I don't have any kind of problem with that. But I don't know if this is the mood of the community because they are trolls, because this is a meme coin, because this is a way of working. I don't know. But all this is something against me. I don't think so. Once again, I never interact with the community, but that's why I feel at the moment. So that was weird, and that's why I write something on Twitter about that and join the group. And as I said, after I joined the group, I don't see this, coming back because I was there. So I don't think it's against me, but if it's a way to chat, I clearly want that something change and maybe don't say that no more, because not about hurting people, that's about respect. And if you don't like what I do, you can don't you can don't like it. I don't have any problem with that, but don't attack people with that. Or if you want to do it, let's meet that people, send DM, come to them, and uh, uh, I don't know how to say it, but take your balls and do your stuff.
Um,
That's it.
you what you've been through is really tough, and you're a tough guy. You're like me. We're not pussies. I mean, we're having fun with all of this, but there's so many examples. I received so many screenshots from the Telegram, and you know what is, in my opinion, uh, bad is not the behavior of the community, because you know what, you don't always choose your community, and you cannot prevent people from saying things. So you know what? It's part of the game when you have a Telegram group or a Discord or anything. But the problems comes from the community manager of Bober on the Telegram, which don't moderate, don't ban people after these uh, uh, takes. Sexisms, racism, homophobic, and so on. You know what? Even the founder of Bober replied to me in a comment, but he blocked me, so I can't reply. But anyway, it's just one more people that blocked me for nothing. And he said, "You're too broke to be relevant in something." So even poor people are not. Yes, I'm poor because of NFTs sold on XOXNO marketplace. Anyway, so even poor people are not welcome. So French people, they don't like them. Poor people, they don't like them. People that suck dicks, they don't like them. I'm just quoting what they wrote. Um, so it's toxic. And I think Bober should maybe do something to keep their fun and healthy image they want to get. And there is a second thing. It's the support from core team, MultiversX core team. We had a chat with Robert, and I told him in a very benevolent way, guys, be careful because you supported the project from the beginning. You changed your PFP. You mentioned Bober so many times. You wore their t-shirts. I don't have the list, but it's huge. Anyway, be careful. If Bober got a bad image, racism, sexism, homophobia, and so on, it will be too late for you to say we have nothing to do with it. So be careful. And of course, Robert said, no, we are not related to Bober. We never supported them, and so on. Okay. Uh, he even posted something very funny. He said, you know what? No, I can mention many people from the core team that never interacted with Bober. And I said, I'm so happy that people
Over 300 people, I hope.
no, but it's a known people and we don't care. We are, of course, speaking about the known people from the core team. Anyway, it's not an attack to MultiversX core team because I am sure deep inside that they just wanted to impulse something with meme coin. They wanted to accompany this trend on MultiversX. And why not? Even though I was the first to criticize it at the beginning, but anyway. But the thing is now the community is becoming unhealthy, maybe a little deviant. Yeah, be careful because it could harm, hurt the core team. I think you got it. So we will not speak about Mihai, XNO, and so on because everything is related. And I would like to have them with us to speak about it. But about the Bober community and moderation, this is public. Everything was posted on Twitter. And it's not about people that I would like to just name here. Okay, it's not the point of this show, of course. So, do you have maybe anything to add about this, except support for Tikapo because, of course, it was not a real good move.
Yeah, but that's good. But I think we are a small communities. If we look at all the Web3, even if we make a lot of noise in our bubble because we have strong believers in different communities, we should be to find a way to harmonize that. And we can have our culture from token, from other stuff, whatever you want, but let's have a clear place, where we can talk, interact with everybody without I will not say criticism because criticism is a part of the game, but without this kind of aggressivity. That's maybe a better term for that. And then I think everything will be better. For myself, I'm not gonna to say bad words on Bobber community. As I said, I never interact with them, but I think that's a mood, that's a way to talk to, you know, that's something, a different culture that I don't get. So I get the point, but if I have a message to pass to that community, is the fact that maybe adapt your way to talk, and maybe don't do let's say short link about people like that when you talk. That's it. After that, I'm okay. Everybody can do the stuff, and we are not in a crazy world where everybody have to love everybody, but we have to respect us. That's it.
Agree on
Yeah,
that.
there's a fine line where freedom of speech can become free to hate other people, and that can't happen. I mean, I'm not much into meme coins lately. I entered a bit more, but what I like with meme coins is the fun and the good vibes. So this is like one of the unique selling propositions of those meme coins. So they build communities around fun and, you know, being open, having everybody have a good time. Once you see this sort of things happening, and I'm very sorry, human beings, you're going to have some bad apples in the basket, but we can't prevent bad apples from being bad apples. But when you identify bad apples, you take them away from the basket. That's the only responsibility, and that's the big issue, as GRM said, about the moderation. And this is not we absolutely don't want to say Bobber is this, because it's not true. But you cannot have moderation close its eyes on this. That's just not possible. So, because then there are multiple risks that can come up, as GRM said, and we just can't let that happen. So this toxicity, you know, and it's not the first time some of those people speak up that way.
I mean,
So
if I can just add my little thing, because again, I'm not part of this NFT community. I've just seen these things through the tweet, and I think it's not really acceptable. Even if I have a black friend, for example, like in my nigger, but it has been approved and agreed over the last 20 years after Dungeons and Dragon games, and it's my nigger, and I'm his little white boy. But it's fine, and it's between two people that accept it, and we don't even see it in public, for example. But the thing is like, I mean, if we need to kick the people out, because I have nothing against attacking other project. I have nothing against being a little annoying and whatsoever, because that's also how you make talk about the project and all these things. But that's a line that I think should be crossed. And what I didn't like, to be honest, is the fact that they didn't say, "Oh no, you're right. That's wrong. That should have not had happened. That should have not stayed there. Sorry for that." I mean, like because I mean. I mean, it's a meme coin. It worked, been supported by the core team. That's true, and I don't care. At the end, it's part of the game also. But the moderation and the fact that you don't make a mea culpa on that, that's a little. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But I will not complain about the core team, because they do their job in promoting project of the ecosystem. They cannot be on all the channel. They cannot like listen to everything that he say. They cannot look on every one of it that have been banned. So I'm not complaining about that, but they need to moderate now, and they need to not accept that and make it clear that it's not acceptable. But for me, it's normal. They should not be even explaining that. I mean, that should not be.
I mean, to me, it's not the core team to go and moderate Bobber.
No.
You know, they shouldn't go into this. Like, this is a free market. Bobber is harming Bobber right now.
Yeah. But
When you don't moderate hate speech, then free market will acknowledge this.
Yeah.
You know what happened? It's just me. I saw this. I didn't have much. I sold my bobber.
Oh, you waited longer.
No, but I mean,
it's
you know,
normal.
I bought some bobber months ago, and I just kept it. You know, I have a few meme
Yeah,
coins, and I just kept them. I just keep them. When I saw this, and I saw that, you know, there was this kind of possibility to speak in this way in an established community on MultiversX, and the moderation didn't do its job. I just used my right, free market. Okay, I sell everything. I don't want to support a project like this. So it's not the foundation to you know, distribute red cards, etc., because decentralization, free market, it's bobber that has to be held accountable for its community and its moderation. Period.
Yeah. No, I just I hope for maybe I don't know for what I hope, to be honest, guys. I mean, but as long as there is not a mea culpa, I hope I will not see a core team guys with a bobber t-shirt again.
Okay, guys.
We have often Harry saying this is trickle down attitude from edgelord moderators like Carmen. Also, Carmen is a completely anon person who does everything possible to hide their identity. So as far as we know, it's Mihai in a wig. Yeah, but so double reason to just, you know, crush that apple, take it and throw it away from the basket.
And all the moderators should be kind of known. So that means that there was like a person dressed as a bobber at the Munich, so it's cool.
Wait, sorry. So Carmen is a moderator from Bobber?
Is it not?
We don't know. It's pretty.
I mean, in the Telegram group, you see who's moderator. You know, it's you have those
Not
powers.
in their group.
We could check.
That would be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, definitely. Let me check on the screenshot if I can see the role, but I'm not on Bobber Telegram, as you can understand.
You never get invited now. They will block us.
No, I did not receive any invitation, definitely. Yes, she has a role, Pink Fairy, and she's but there's not an A. A is admin. So I don't want to. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Anyway, let's close this Twitter space. It's not a Twitter space. It's so much more. But let's close this show. Thank you very much, guys, for being there. Whole morning we spent together. We tried to speak about all the topics I had in mind. I hope you learned some things, and you will maybe think more about what's happening on MultiversX. See you next Wednesday for a new GM Web3 MultiversX. I can already tell you what it will be about. We will be receiving Tada, we'll be receiving AI Nexus, and we'll be receiving Ethereum, and we'll speak about AI and blockchain. So be there. It will be very cool. And take care of yourself. Keep sharing good vibes, but not don't forget to defend yourself and to reveal real things in the ecosystem. This is how we can move on. Take care of yourself, and all the best for